Hello, everybody. We are live with Synergy Solutions where we're talking about quantum today and how quantum applies to the human body. How does it apply to your everyday experience and how do we use that here? And I'm going to say hello and welcome to each of the doctors that are joining. Dr. Vesna, Sasha, Dr. George, and myself, Dr. Kevin. We are here. We're talking quantum. We were having a little fun before we got live and chatting about the fun synchronicities of things and chatting about chiropractic philosophy. And if you didn't know, I'm going to say this. Chiropractic philosophy is quantum physics. And quantum physics in the sense of what it's discovering, what it's identifying, what it's figuring out, how it is do that right there. How it applies to life. And so, Dr. George, you pulled out a book there, and this is famous in the chiropractic space. Go ahead, talk about it right there.
All right, the chiropractic textbook came out in 1927. Stevenson and some other people wrote it up. The first thing they did is they said, well, let's have. They came up with 33 principles. The major premise is the first principle, and they were basically outlining the universe into which chiropractic fits. And so principle number one, I got two things to say. Principle number one is a universal intelligence, that's this one over here, is in all matter, continually giving to it all of its properties and actions, thus maintaining it in existence. So I think periodic table of elements, this is an intelligence creating force or using force to act upon physical matter so that matter does what it does chemically. Now over here is innate or inborn. Living things are on this side. And I just randomly opened the book here into the senior text, article 313, the perfection of the triunity, principle number 5. In order to have 100% life, there must be 100% of intelligence, force, and 100% of matter. It's obvious that the three factors of the triunity are inseparable. They're not separable in part if 100% perfection is to be maintained. Since intelligence is always 100% perfect and always creates 100% force, it is certain that if any imperfections of the triunity exist, clinical findings show that they do exist, that matter is the only part of the triunity that can be imperfect. So I'll leave it at that. But our physical body is the thing that limits the expression of all the intelligence of the universe that there is, by design.
Okay, George, thank you. That was an awesome download. Now, everyone who just saw that, whenever you witness that, save this page, download this page, save the link, however you can, and watch that again. Take notes. And so what I want to say, the reason that's so important is we're talking quantum physics, and we're talking this simple concept of as above, so below. And there's a point, so to speak, where that all integrates, and that's what George is saying is matter, which is me and you, the physical body. That's how I want to relate this conversation and bring it into some simple terms, but also allowing the beautiful foundation of this knowledge, where it comes from in these green books, and how that applies. So I'm going to shift the conversation real quick, Dr. George, and I'm going to pull up the definition of quantum. All right, I'm just going to read that real quick, and then we'll bring it back, because when I read this quantum, the word that jumped into my head was triune of life. Dr. George is going to talk about that.
Always.
Right, and so the quantum is a Latin word for amount. In modern understanding, means the smallest possible discrete unit of any physical property, such as energy or matter. Okay, now it goes on to say quantum came into the later usage in 1900 when physicist Max Planck used it in a presentation in German Physical Society. And where my brain went goes, Planck's constant. That's a well-known term. So I just typed that in real quick because I wanted to share some thoughts about what is quantum in today's conversation. So Planck's constant, reading the definition real quick, it's a fundamental constant, meaning it's foundational, equal to the energy of a quantum of electromagnetic radiation. So I paused on that thought for a moment. Electromagnetic radiation divided by its frequency. like, oh, that's interesting, frequencies.
Mm.
So we know that the human body is full of these frequencies, and we emit these electromagnetic fields that are measurable and detectable, and we can interact with them. And that's what we do here with KST, Corn Specific Technique. This is, and for those of you who don't know, this is the foundation where we learn how to interact with, I dare say, quantum to facilitate healing. George, your thoughts. Sasha, your thoughts. Vesna, your thoughts. George, you first.
Yeah, but when you said when we interact with quantum, I don't think there's a time we don't. I think what we're talking about in this call is deliberately, putting intention into the quantum to achieve a desired effect, which is to clear a system of interference, or maybe 250,000 systems of interference. So we're always dealing with it, but to do it deliberately is the step we're taking.
A conscious act of interacting to help bring about a desire, a result.
Yeah, I mean, it could be like driving a car.
Right.
Like I'm going to do these things and you're going to go from A to B.
Right.
And so, like when we're driving a bone, we could get a line of drive to move a vertebra in person. Well, there's a subtle and profound difference between doing that in person and doing it not in person. So we get that when we're in physical proximity to somebody, there's still space between the molecules. It's a field that we're impressing upon. And the question then becomes, I think we know the answer, how far out can we interact with another field? And maybe the only limitation is what we think. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What I said? Okay. I'm done.
Well, I want to take the conversation to think about somebody's body language. Because you say we introduced the concept, George. You mentioned moving a bone. This is what chiropractic is about. And Synergy Solutions is about influencing the physical body from a distance to improve outcomes of one's everyday life.
Right.
And that means feel good, move good, sleep well, things like that. And unlocking the patterns that lead us towards things that we don't like. Anyway, so you mentioned that concept, and where was I going with that? I lost my train of thought. Excuse me.
Well, how do we move a bone? We don't move the bone. The body moves the bone by itself. We put some kind of input into the body, where it's a shove with our hand or something else, and that allows the nerve system perceive itself and the body differently, and it moves the bone by using a nerve to tell the muscle pull the bone into a different alignment. So that can be done in physical, proximity with a person or at a distance.
Right.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. You got me right back on track, because we know our thoughts and our body language are tied in to one another. And so if there's a field that we can see people's essentially fields of energy around them, and that can be detected on and off the body by professional healers, doctors that do this work, and technology, and it can be influenced. And so someone's body language and their thought patterns, whether they want to tell you they're having a good day or not, you can kind of get a vibe from that person. And that's detectable from a distance. And it doesn't necessarily need to be visual either. Even having a thought about somebody, and then we talk about this on here before. And every chiropractor and everyone who's I venture to guess Reiki practitioners, massage therapists, anyone who owns their own clinic or is a single practitioner, they think about a client, they think about a patient, boom, next thing you know, they're showing up. And this happens in people's lives. What, Sasha? Go ahead.
About this. Yeah. I haven't seen her for many years. She contacts yesterday it was actually, yeah. Can I come in for a treatment, please?
Yeah.
I forget how many years it is since I've seen her, and she was in my mind. I wasn't worried whether she came in or not. She was just in my mind.
Yeah. So use this. So use this feature. It's like, we understand that I look at this as another way of also bringing about a positive outcome from oneself. So if we're talking about health here, And we could talk about movement or maybe mental emotional wellness. This is a big topic in today's world, and I think very appropriate right now. And there's a lot of shifting sands, things what's accurate, what's not accurate, what's going on in the world, how to pay attention, how to adapt to it, how to be resilient to it. And I use this skill set that we're talking about here of, well, who do I need to connect to where I feel good with? And then I just let my mind wander for a moment, and then boom, someone pops to my mind, and I feel good when I have that person in my thoughts. So like, hey, let's go give them a call, or let's hang out. And then I bring about a different vibe. And so patterns and things that would prevent me from getting to that happy place, so to speak, then I can come in with KST and communicate with this infinite intelligence that we began to refer to, and find out where am I interfered with. And that's led me on a whole journey of discovery of all kinds of techniques to help bring someone back into mental emotional balance. Because that's where that wonderful naturally flowing synchronistic time of life happens, is when I'm in that peaceful place, that more of a heart space, if I could say it that way too.
That's an adjustment.
That's an adjustment. That's right. Adjusting for the heart space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. All right, Dr. Vesna, Dr. Sasha. Dr. Vesna, would you like to, your comments on this? Oh, sorry about this. She'll have to join later. She's in the middle of something. Perhaps she's adjusting somebody else right now. Dr. Sasha, then your comments. Anything else you want to add? I mean, go ahead, please.
Yeah. What I say is that lady who's coming in on Friday, I mean, she's already half adjusted.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
She's connected in that way.
Yeah.
Well, the begun is half done.
It's so true. I had a patient who are going through a tough time right now, in a good way. It's an unfoldment process, and I've been here before, and I've seen people go through this process before. So I'm excited for him. I can see where he's going to be very soon, and he's getting beyond it. So it's very good. However, he came in the other day, yesterday. When he sent the email to give me the report, he said as soon as he sent the email, half his pain went away. So just relating his story, just sharing what was going on, was enough to shift him the rest of the day. It was such a testament. And then he came in and told me that story by giving me the example of taking his car to the mechanic, and the guy can't find a problem, but as soon as he gets back in the car, the problem's there again.
Oh my God.
And I said, well, who's the problem?
Yeah, right.
Oh, we'll have some fun there. So that's good. Well, thanks for having this conversation. Everybody at home, you, the individual, have synchronistic experiences all the time. And things that are continually showing up are nature's and life's cues for you to wake up to something. If it's undesirable, I'll mention that. I mean, if something shows up you keep liking, well, enjoy, have fun. Though, if that thing, and the body's talking to you. The body has its own internal language, and pain is its grand signaler, and that's kind of like some of the last hurrahs. Though you've missed some of the more subtle cues. However, when pain starts showing up or accidents start showing up, it's life's big wake up call, and that's my observation, and that's what I wrote about the book. And Decode Your Pain, as Dr. George has pointed out a few times.
Yep.
And so I look at life like a grand magnet, and all this electromagnetic energy out there. Our thoughts do have power and influence, and trying to handle the ones that don't work out so well and get them out of there, or balance them. I'll find peace with them, or whatever that may be.
Make adjustments.
Make adjustments, exactly. Adjustments,
right?
And so then my experience is, when I'm in a different place, life flows in a different way. That was that subtle awakening of, if I'm in a bad mood, more things, I got hurt more. I woke up to that. Why did I keep hitting my head? Oh, I was thinking about something so much. Bam. So I put two and two together finally.
Why?
Exactly. That story's really about me. All right.
You meant us, right? Everybody.
Indeed. All right, let's shift gears. Let's get to the next phase of the call. This is where we talk about intentions of our time together. We do get together every week at 12 noon on Wednesdays, 12 noon Eastern time, United States time, and we talk about energy, frequency, vibration, the quantum nature of our reality, how it interacts with life. And if that intrigues you, I invite you to go to synergysolutionsessions.com. And if you're interested in the holistic natural health care, wanting to shift away from the pharmaceutical model, essentially, and accessing the quantum realm of our healing, go to the website. The link's in the description. There's some offers I put together with material I have, and you can access that today. Get into the members area. Thanks, Docs, for the conversation. And George, I always I love that you have your steep knowledge in a lot of electromagnetics and what's that? You said your dad? What was your dad's profession?
Well, he was an electrical engineer, but he
Right.
got a physics degree from Harvard in 1947. And so the quantum thing was just percolating around that time too. So he taught me a lot about that stuff.
Yeah, and
Neil.
that's I know you have a lot of great analogies and stories that help connect dots for me, and I really appreciate that.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, buddy. I will. If go ahead. I'll be connecting in the members area in just a few moments. All right, buddy. Have a great day. Blessings, best regards. Keep on adapting.
Okay.
All right. Let's go ahead and bring everybody